The Stateline Sports Hour continues on News Talk 1440 WROK.
Good morning, everybody. Dave Schmidt along with Matt Nestor and producer Tom Warner. Beautiful sunny Saturday morning, May 10th, 2014. And we're going to shift our gears over to some girls' high school basketball and a very quality young lady who's been all-state this past season, over 2,000 points in her career, and she's going to Loyola University. Samantha Lambrigtsen. Hey, Samantha, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
Should we call you Sam? I know everybody else calls you Sam, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations on getting to go to Loyola. How excited are you?
Thanks. It's definitely surreal, especially since it's so close. It's just perfect. So I'm really excited.
You know, anywhere you go to college, you're probably going to end up with a great coach at that level, but how exciting is it to have one of the best basketball players ever and Cheryl Swoops be your coach?
Yeah, when I went to visit her with my family, it was pretty intimidating, honestly, because she's bigger than I thought. She's very tall, so she's such a nice person though, and she's so easy to talk to, so I know she's going to be a really good coach.
Does that make you feel kind of good when you have somebody that was such a good player that kind of eyes you and says that that's somebody that she wants on her team? Yeah,
definitely. She said when we had a talk with her, she said she believes in me and she needs a point guard. So I think she's confident in me, and she's also confident in her team this year. She thinks she recruited a very good class, and she's very confident in her team coming back, so I'm excited for this year.
It wasn't easy. It kind of came late. Tell us a little bit the background on how this all happened, how you got picked up by Loyola so late in the recruiting season.
Well, they didn't have a point guard, so they called my AU coach, John Penny, and he does so much for me, so I know he would put in a good word. And he said that I'll be in the showcase on Friday. It was maybe 2 weeks ago, Friday now. It was a showcase in Waukegan, and I was in it, and Cheryl came to watch me. So she watched all three of my games, and she called John the third game, and John called my dad and said that she wanted me on campus. So it happened that week, and then I was committed the next day after my visit.
Is it frustrating for you at all? I know players always slip through the cracks and things like that, but to have the career that you had and for it to take so long in the process, is it frustrating, or are you just happy to be going somewhere and getting ready to play basketball?
This year was pretty tough because the recruiting process was just, it was very emotional for me. So this happening really it just tops it all off because everything happened for a reason this year. So it's just really, sorry, I get emotional, but it was just really exciting that somebody finally believed in me.
When you look on it, though, everything's going to turn out for the best, don't you think, Sam? I mean, it's just kind of like, wow, maybe I went through all this for a reason, made you a stronger person, and now you got a really good opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And when we visited, Coach Swoops was saying that too. She said everything happened for a reason, Sam, and all this stuff. So I totally believe it too. So it just happened the way it did. So this would work out as perfect as it is.
Hey, what has Coach Swoops told you that you need to kind of work on to get prepared for your first season there at Loyola?
Well, I will be obviously playing point guard, so I know I'm going to need to work on my ball handling, my right hand, and I just got a packet of my workouts before I go this summer, so I have a lot to work on.
You were a left-handed shooter, too. That always would drive me crazy when I played my little level of basketball, that a left-hander is harder to watch. Do you think that helps you out a little bit? Yeah,
it's fun being a left-hand point guard for sure, and especially since our high school team had two of them. So it was, I think that helped us out when we played opponents a lot.
When you look back at your high school career, what are you going to remember from that? You had a great career there. What's going to be the things that stand out for you, that prepared you for this next step?
This year, we had 9 seniors and 3 juniors, but we have all played together since we were third grade, and my mom coached us. My mom and another friend's dad. So I think just our team unity this year was we were all so close. So I think if I take that to college and we're all going to be really close, Cheryl said we're a family. So I think it's really just going to be a really good team aspect instead of just going to play.
You know, you scored 2,000 points in your career, over 2,000 points. Do you remember the first points you ever made, Sam?
I think, I was a freshman, and we hosted a tournament. I think we were playing polo, actually. But we had 2 seniors on that team, and I was intimidated at first, but I actually became very good friends with both of them. So it was just a really fun year.
Do you have a basket out of all the 2,000 points there that's one of your favorites?
The 2,000-point shot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you get to keep the basketball on that, Sam?
Yeah, I do. I do have it.
Did you autograph it yourself or have people autograph it and stuff like that?
Yeah, people wrote on it.
Cool. You were All-State this year. How did that feel, first-team All-State? I mean, that includes all the schools in the suburb area and all that stuff. That's a pretty neat deal.
Yeah, that hadn't happened for AP. I was honorable mention last year, but that would have been really cool to get it. Last year, I just really wanted just a very high honor. So I'm just glad that whoever voted for me, was just awesome to get that.
You know, I see a lot of the athletes in this area participate at maximum potential. Has that helped you a lot? I know there's been a lot of talk about that program lately.
Oh, yeah. Gene Houston is awesome. And he goes to my AU organization. He trains at our practices, and he also will do individual training. So he is such a good motivator that he helped me out so much with so many things.
You know, and it's got to be people like that and your AAU coach that help you in these showcase games, too, I would imagine, because, you know, I don't think a lot of people realize how important something like that is. Obviously, that's what got you a college scholarship.
Yeah, there's so many people that helped me. Gene Houston, John Penny, Jordan Singer, my recruiter, Jason Moore, and, of course, my parents. I mean, I just had so much support, so much encouragement that there's no way I could give up.
You know, yesterday when we were kind of doing a discussion about you coming on the show on Twitter, I saw some of your friends kind of commenting things. You play with some pretty good kids on your AAU team as well, don't you?
Yeah, and I think definitely playing in that club, I got a lot of really good friends out of it, and they truly care. They're all so excited to hear where I'm going and everything. So it's just really good to have the support I do.
How was it to be an Oregon Hawk? Is it a good feeling to be a Hawk and now graduate?
Yeah, definitely. I love playing for the school. I do, for sure. And especially our team being so close, it was just a really good year.
You know, it's really good to see small schools do well. I know we had Alicia Cleaver on last week. She's going to Upper Iowa. She played at Rock Valley College, but she came from a smaller school, too. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of advantages for young people to play at a school where everybody kind of knows each other and can talk things over and do stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, I feel like then bigger schools, like in Chicago 4A's, you know, they aren't as close as we are, so I feel like we have more motivation to do well for each other in the school.
And I guess the big thing before we let you go, Sam, is that the fact is that you're in the Missouri Valley Conference, a very good competitive conference for women's basketball, so that's going to really see what kind of level of basketball you're ready for.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've got to do a lot of preparing. I know it's going to definitely be a huge adjustment, but I'm just excited to take it all in. And I know my teammates on the team, and obviously Cheryl Sousa is going to be really supportive and just motivating. So I'm just excited.
Well, thanks so much for being on today. Congratulations, and good things happen to good people, and we're glad it happened for you.
Thank you.
We've been talking to Oregon basketball star Samantha Lambrigtsen, and what a great young lady.
Yeah, you know, it's just great the way everything's worked out for her there. to have such a great career and kind of a frustrating process for her through the recruiting process, but then, to have one of the best basketball players ever, take a look at you and say that she wants you on the team. And, it all worked out well in the end for her.
Like we said, it worked out for Fred VanVleet to go to a Missouri Valley Conference.
Yeah.
And maybe someday when she's an All-American, we can have her back on.
There
she
you
remembers
go.
us.
Right.
You got to quit making her cry, though.
I'll try. I mean,
That shows you that the kid's got some heart, too.
Well, and it shows you, too, just how frustrating of a process it was. I mean, how often do you see somebody that's a 2,000-point scorer, average over 20 points a game the senior year, an all-state player, all that kind of stuff? I mean, how often are they sitting there this late in their senior year and then they still don't have, that kind of an offer? It doesn't happen. And you could tell just, from the way she was talking and by getting a little emotional there, that she probably had some opportunities that she thought was going to be there that maybe didn't come through, and that kind of stuff, maybe recruited by some other schools who decided to go after a different player, and those kind of things. And, it's a frustrating process to go through. And I'm sure she felt, as good of a career as she had, that she deserved some of those opportunities. But she's going to get a great one now, and getting to play for Coach Cheryl Swoops there and with the Loyola team that played a lot of young players last year and hopefully is on the rise there in the Missouri Valley.
Good things come to those that wait, right?
That's right.
The same?
Yep.
Well, good for her.